What's going on, YouTube? So yes, we're on hole 2 today at Whiteford. So basically what it is today is I was looking at my stats, and if I take my average of every hole, I shoot 60 on the dot. So what tells me is there are a few holes I need to work on, and that's why we're here today. Hole 2 the last few months, I've hit one of these first 2 trees, so we're going to try to figure out something, maybe a different line, maybe forehand, just something a little bit different, and we're trying to figure out placement. So this hole is like 300 feet. It's definitely a distance driver for me, but I throw a fairway just to be safe. So we're going to try to decide, what do I throw? So we're going to go over some options here. The 2 options I have right now are my Stabler Maverick, which is what I've hit the tree with, and an evader, a beat up evader. So it's closer to this than an evader, but it's still got some stability to it. We're gonna throw them on backhand and see what we can create. The other thing is a flex forehand. Now for that, I'd probably throw a Grace or something. We're gonna try backhand first. If we need to, we'll throw the Grace forehand, but the idea is to get through this initial gap and just get a little bit better position than normal, because to break 60 for me, it's all going to come down, because I don't have the distance, but it's going to come all the way down to how I decide, or like the placements of my shots. So hole 2, let's see. So that's the line I want. It did flip a little bit because of the wind, so maybe it is an evader, but we're gonna throw the evader just to see. I think one of the other key points is I've been throwing on this side of the tee pad. I think for placement, I need to throw on this side of the tee pad just to open up the pad, or open up the gap just a little bit more. So it's just little things like that we're trying to fine tune. So they hit that limb, but it was, again, better than the last few months. So we're gonna try Grace forehand, and we might try a distance driver just to kind of get an idea, and then we'll look at where they're at and try to get an idea. Grace forehand. And for this one, I think I can start over here on this side, because I can turn it over more. Okay, so I turned it a little too much with this wind. I don't know if I like that play. I think I like the backhand better. So we're gonna try distance driver for fun. Now as far as stability of the distance driver, that's gonna come down to the wind. I'm gonna try this Big Z Hades and put it on hyzer and see. We're going to see what those are and get an idea, because again, to shoot 60, it's all going to come down to placement, and we're working on that today. Okay, so here's the evader, a good shot. The Grace was over there, still a pretty good shot. I don't know if I'd want that shot. I'm going to play the Maverick, and if it was my first shot for my round. But looking at it, my distance driver is way up there. I'll take you to it after I throw this shot. But I think I need a distance driver. Now, which one, I don't know yet. The one I threw, I thought in this wind would get pushed over a little bit. It didn't. I could have gone with something a little less stable. That'll kind of decide on the wind, but I think this hole is definitely a distance driver. And I've been throwing it as a fairway. So keep in mind, we're just trying to play for par here. We're not trying to play for a birdie or anything, but I think it is one I need to throw a distance driver. The only problem is I have thrown a distance driver way long. So, but I do think it is a distance driver. So next month we'll be throwing distance driver. Which one will depend on the wind. So, but I can actually get through the gap a lot easier with a distance driver. I don't have to throw it as hard, and I can really focus on hitting the gap. So, all right, I'll show you with the distance driver in a minute. So guys, here's my distance driver. Now, again, I know I can throw this distance driver too far, but I like this shot better, and I'm going to explain to you why. It's because I don't have to throw as hard. One thing I've been working on with my form is not throwing full power all the time. With this distance driver, I don't have to throw as hard. I know I can get the distance and I can focus on the gap. And because the distance driver was not throwing it as hard, it's a little bit more stable. So it's going to handle the wind a little bit better. So I think that's what I'm going to throw from now on, is a distance driver. Just probably throw it about 70% roughly, instead of full force. So next month, I think I know what I'm finally throwing here. Alright guys, so now we are actually on the hole. That is why I'm making this video. My buddy, he's a AM3 player, but he definitely can play AM1 when he's on. You know, he doesn't play consistently, but when he is on, he is a really good player. He's been going over my shot selection of this course, and he talked about this hole. I always throw distance driving. Harder to control, I know, but I need it as a 700 feet and it's a par 4. He disagrees with that. He says I should drop down to a fairway. We're going to try it. These are kind of the same. The way they're beat up, these fly pretty close to the same. We're going to throw 2 shots, see where they land, throw the second shots, see where they land, try to get a 4 and figure out where I want to be on this hole. Can I reach it with 2 fairway shots, or do I need a distance driver? We're going to test it out. So, let's see how we do. And that's the worry with the distance driver. That's the one we're going to take, but it's very, very hard to keep it in the fairway. Now we'll try the fairway. Same line, same shot, just trying to get a fairway. So those are both bad. We'll see where they're at and see what we can do, but yeah, I don't know, guys. But we'll see where both of them are, and we'll try to decide, should I do a fairway or should I do a distance driver. Actually, I have my Flippy Maverick. We're going to try it here now. Okay, we're not going to take that other one, we're going to take that flippy one, because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to see. We're also going to throw another distance driver, see if I can get in the fairway. Distance driver. Come out. Didn't come back enough, but that's close to what I wanted. So, let's go see what all those are. Okay. After looking for like 30 minutes for all of them, I threw my shot that I am going to throw. I threw it bad, but you know, this round today is not about breaking 60. It's about learning. My fairway driver's here. Over by my bag, I don't know if you can see, it's over there, is my distance driver. I didn't get much more distance. So we're going to throw from here and throw from that fairway, or from that distance driver, and just see. Should I have a fairway driver or should I have a distance driver? I don't know yet. We're going to find out. Now with this wind, I'm just throwing basically Mavericks. Because they're my flippier stuff. And this wind is kind of crazy today. Well, the gusts are kind of crazy. if I could throw where I want to, I think I'd be okay. So I moved this into the fairway. It's about probably 10 feet that way, but for the purposes of this video, not much more distance. I do like this side of the fairway better though. We're gonna throw a flex because hyzers are not working right now. That is perfect. So at my fairway driver, it was over here a little bit. Again, for the purpose of this video, I moved it out just a little bit because I just want to see if I can reach it with fairways. And then I'm going to probably throw fairways because they're easier to control. I probably could reach this with a mid-range, but because of where the basket is, I want to throw a fairway to let it crash in. Again, trying to take what my buddy said into consideration when I'm throwing. I did not see where that landed, but that looked exactly like what I wanted to do. It's probably a little bit right, but I think I got the distance. So here we're about where we normally are. I'm gonna throw my buzz like normal. I'm 3 somewhere over here for my actual game, which is actually pretty good. So I won't 4 it, I don't think, but I could definitely 5 it, which is better than I've been doing. So nope, maybe. I don't know what tree that hit, but that wind, I went too stable. I should throw something a little less stable, but it dropped it. But I think it's okay. We'll see. So I'm not even going to play this out in the fact of I figured out what I want to do. I think fairways is the way to go on this hole. My mid is right up in this tree. My fairway is parked. So I really think there's not much more distance potential on this hole, my distance drivers, than my fairways because of how accurate I have to be. I think it's just much easier to throw a fairway. My buddy was right. Shout out to RJ. He'll be on the channel here soon. He's Lone Star sponsored. He really wants to get on this channel. We'll have to figure something out. But I got to give him props. He was right. So, okay, we're going to finish out the hole with the shot that I threw, which I have a putt for 5. And this hole's eating my lunch today, but that's okay. That's why we're out here, to learn. So I think next month it's fairways because I can't actually reach it with fairways. Cool. All right, the next hole. Now, this hole is one I know I can birdie, but I need to decide if I'm going, because I'm not going to go backhand here. That's a really hard backhand line. I do have a disc for it, but I don't trust it. I don't trust my turnovers that much. I trust my forehand better. So now it is, do I throw a fairway or do I throw a distance driver? Now, distance driver, I can overthrow this hole, but this is the most overstable distance driver I have, and it's trying to spike towards the basket because a lot of times I either hit one of these trees early or because a lot of times the wind, I don't get over enough with my fairways. So we're going to test them out and see which one I think I should throw next month. I'm going to play the fairway because that's my normal shot. Okay. So that's what I try to do every time, and I miss it every time. So that's why I'm deciding on this hole. Here's the distance driver. So I know that's long of the basket, but it gives me a better chance for 3, and it's definitely far enough, so it probably gives me a chance for 2. Probably 45 feet, I don't know. We'll get up there and see which one's better. So here's the fairway. Distance driver's a little farther. I do definitely think I should distance driver. Again, I can overthrow this hole. But I think what I'm figuring out is if I don't throw as hard, I can control my distance drivers through gaps better than I can fairways. I have to throw these so hard to get them here. So, I think next month I'll go with distance driver. You're going to notice most of these holes are on the front nine. The front nine is so much harder than the back nine, in my opinion. Here's 413 feet, par 3. The question for me is forehand or backhand. It's distance driver either way, in my opinion, to get past those trees. So now it is forehand or backhand. Let's see. I'm gonna throw this for forehand or for backhand, and probably my Raider for backhand. That's a tree I hit this last month. So glad that tree is there. I need to turn it over more though. I need to trust it more. But let's do backhand. Or let's forehand. Now we're gonna go forehand with a Raider. This is not my most overstable disc, but it's close. Okay, if I can remember how to tie my shoe, I gotta retie it after this, but it works for now. And for this, I just want it to come up, flip up, and then come over. So right now it's looking like it's forehand. We'll go up there and make sure, but I think it's forehand. So yeah, just looking at it, definitely going to be forehand next month. I've never trusted my forehand as much as I think next month I'm going to have to trust my forehand. That's scary in itself, but at the same time, maybe it means I'm getting a little bit better. Alright, I'm running low on camera footage time, so we're going to cut this and go. Alright guys, so just an update from this round today. I'm even par. 2 over is 60. If I do it today, I'm going to feel bad. Then I got to do it next month in the video, but it means I can't do it. So this is the hole where I have ruined so many rounds this year. And it's the second shot. The first shot's an easy shot. So I'm going to throw my first shot and then really worry about my second shot. But you guys are going to see my first shot just so you know. That's pretty much where I want to be my first shot. It's the second shot because it's OB. It's almost like an island. So there's OB everywhere. So it's landing it inbounds for the birdie. It's par 4, but now here's the second shot. Now do I backhand it or forehand it? I think I'm going to forehand it because the backhand always goes out of bounds. Forehand about 90% of the time. So that's my tactic. It's not my pink one, it's the one I'm trying to work in. We'll wait for that person to go and then we're going to try it. OB. I think that's OB. So now the question is, do I throw backhand? I'm going to try it. We're going to go flippy. With kind of the same area because it's picked up the disc already. I don't know what I'm going to do next month on this one. This is the bane of my existence on this course. Well, you guys, this will come out probably before the 2 whiteford rounds that I have from last month. This was me practicing. Disclaimer, I did score my first shot, and you'll hear me, I talk about what I am for my round. I end up shooting 60 even because 2 holes that aren't on that I didn't film, because they're normally easy, the wind picked up and I don't know what I did, but I shot 60 finally at this course, so can't be mad. I have a game plan now for next month. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Hope with the wind, hopefully some of the audio came through, and hopefully I can teach you guys something that I'm trying to learn myself. So anyway, guys, next time, peace.